What About Bob is a film directed by Frank Oz, and it's most notably starring Bill Murray as Bob Wiley, and he's all around a dysfunctional human being. He has multiple issues, or at least claims to have multiple issues, such as Tourette's syndrome, germophobia, or just general discomfort around people, to where he needs to scream or shout at random times, or needs to constantly chant to himself something like, I feel good, I feel great, I feel wonderful, things like that, to stay sane, basically. And he meets up with a psychiatrist named Leo Marvin, played by RichardDreyfuss, and he's about to go and have a vacation with his family in a really nice home by a lake. But as Bill Murray starts to find more information about him, he begins to stalk him and go after him, and becomes increasingly invasive of his personal life and his family too, making for a really great comedy. Now, by far the best thing about this film is definitely the acting, especially from Bill Murray. He owns his performance here. Pretty much every minute of screen time he has here, he knows how to be funny with his character. He knows how to portray a character who is all around very dysfunctional, who has multiple issues around people, but is also very social too, and even really charming and charismatic. Bill Murray was a perfect casting choice for this role. They were originally planning on casting other actors like Robin Williams or Eddie Murphy. While they're both great comedic actors, I could not have seen this being done better by any actor other than Bill Murray. He was so good in this, I cannot stress that enough. I loved every minute of his screen time here. But I also have to give massive credit to Richard Dreyfuss playing Dr. Leo Marvin, because he has to play the role of a father who is trying to have a nice, relaxing 1 month long vacation with his family and a nice house by the lake and everything like that. But he is having this crazy patient who is coming in and being invasive of his family and his general life, and is starting to take over. And his increasing frustration and his drift towards insanity, he nails it every second here. I also heard that Bill Murray and Richard Dreyfuss did not get along at all, and that Bill Murray treated him like shit on set. But clearly that paid off, because his performance here is angry and miserable, and he never misses a beat here, which I love. He also really does a great job of contributing to the dark comedy that culminates in the final act. And Charlie Korsmo as the 12-year-old boy Siggy, he is so good in this film. This is one of my favorite child acting performances of all time, because he feels like a real 12-year-old child. And his chemistry, his acting chemistry with Bill Murray here is so good whenever they're hitting each other with 12-year-old insults like barf bag or dickhead, whatever. It works so well because it all feels real, like it's a real 12-year-old child. The acting across the board in this film is just so good. Even the actors playing less relevant side characters still manage to own every single second of their screen time, and all contribute to the comedy in some way. Especially with the Gutmans and how the vacation home that Leo Marvin owned was their dream house, and how they let Bob stay at their home so he could go and stop by their house all the time. They did that so cleverly and used it to such great comedic effect. And I love all the characters in this film because of that. And this film is just so well paced. It's constantly keeping you engaged with some great comedy, but also keeping you engaged with characters and some really clever screenplay writing here. Even with a concept that's not necessarily that original, they still managed to make it feel really fresh and something really funny and engaging, which I love. I love the cinematography of this film. The 35mm format looks so good on screen, and the lighting is used so effectively, especially in the bedroom scene where Bob and Siggy are having the conversation about death. It's so cleverly used, and the camera work in general works so well with how it delivers the comedy. I also love the really smooth editing they have in here, especially during the phone call sequences. It's all so smooth. I love every technical aspect of this film, and the musical score also works so well with the tone of this film and delivering the comedy in many of the sequences too. My only issue with the film is really one particular scene where Bill Murray is disguised as a detective, and he goes into this office with 3 secretaries, and somehow none of them recognize his voice as Bob, even though he called them twice before. It was just one aspect that didn't logically make sense, and I would even go as far as to say it's a minor plot hole, but it doesn't take away from how great and effective this is as a comedy. And honestly, this is a timeless classic. I'm giving What About Bob, oh, a 10 out of 10. But as always, I hope you enjoyed this review. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more, and I will see you in the next video.